And we're back with Show and Tell this October week with Ben Keeler. This is slow. Did you pick this out? This is your theme music, Ben.
I don't like slow music.
All right. Good to have you on
Good
the
to be
show.
here.
What's this?
These are some beers. These are some beers that I made.
Did you, how long?
I did not make the bottles, but I did make the beer.
How long you been in that green room? There seemed to be some missing here, you know what I'm saying? No, seriously, there's
Sometimes
only
I get
3 in the
thirsty.
6-pack.
I know. It's the remaining 3 from a batch like five months ago.
Okay.
5 months old.
So, you made this beer.
I did.
And you make this right in downtown Epping.
Yeah.
You
Right
know,
in the heart.
You know, in some countries that's illegal. Sweden, for instance. So how do you tell us about how you go about making a beer?
Well, these beers were made with malt extract. It was dry malt extract, and it's basically the hard part done for you because the malt is the cool process. And you add it to water, you boil it, you add your hops, you add any other spice that you want to add to it, and it's basically concentrated wort, which is what the yeast eat to make beer.
Did you say wort?
Wort.
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 Wort. How do you spell that?
W-O-R-T.
Wort.
Wort.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, do you follow a recipe, or do you improvise? Or
I started off following a recipe, and then I started to stray a little bit because some of the things, like I started reading about all sorts of recipes, and you'd see like things that you like in other recipes that you'd want to add to another recipe.
Oh, right. Like
so I started doing that. So in a way, they were my own, but I still started off copying.
Yeah, and how long have you been at this?
I think I brewed my first questionable beer.
Questionable?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. Neither was my roommate. We were both really worried when we took the first sip, but it turned out good. And that was about two years ago.
Uh-huh. And how many batches have you done since then?
I've made about 7 different beers since then.
Uh-huh. And how many beers do you make in a batch? How many 12 ounces?
They're about 5 gallons, which comes out to about 52 beers.
Jeepers.
And I recently started kegging, and there's 5-gallon kegs, and
ooh, now
that's even cooler.
One thing I was told once about homemade beer is that you got a little sediment on the bottom.
Yeah, sometimes there's a little sediment. It all depends on the sediment that's in the carboy as it's fermenting. But mine tend to have less because I do it double. I'll take it out of the first fermentation, put it in a secondary fermentation, then take it from there and bottle it, which gives it less sediment. It also makes it clear. That's why I did it in the first place, to make the beer clear.
That's like dual filtering?
Yeah.
Now,
double fermentation there.
Do you filter beer? Is there any screen that
big companies do. I don't.
And
most home brewers don't, just because it's almost unnecessary.
Like run it through some cheesecloth or something? That too high budget or what?
Yeah. A little too high budget for me. Right. Too much effort.
Let's try this out.
All right, yeah. Cheers.
Delicious.
Is it?
Has a lot of flavor. It's like a short roller coaster ride.
This is a fruit beer. This is a blackberry beer.
Really?
Yeah, and it was actually my girlfriend and her friend's idea because they like fruit beers. And they suggested it to us. And so we did it. It was me and my buddy Christian who put this one together.
So what exactly is in it? Like, how do you get those blackberries in there? Do you pick fresh blackberries and?
No, it was blackberry extract.
Oh.
And it couldn't have been more than, I'm going to say, 4 tablespoons that produced all that blackberry flavor. Yeah.
Wow. And what other sort of spices do you put in there?
Well, one thing that the recipe didn't really call for that we added anyway was honey. And what honey tends to do is smooth out the flavor a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'm
gives it more of a
tasting that.
mouthfeel.
Yeah.
But it also adds alcohol content because all honey is really is sugar.
Sugar, right.
And that's all yeast feed on. So
I'm tasting that, the smoothness. Let me tell you about this beer, viewers, since you can't taste it unless you have an in. We have a fizzing sensation, which gives way to a smooth, rich, sweet flavor. There's like an overtone of blackberry, but sort of an under gravy train of honey sort of sweetness. Meanwhile, the fizziness is sort of decreasing in a steady, incremented manner until you're just left with the sweet honey aftertaste. Really, the blackberry is more of a mid hump in the wagon, as we say in showbiz.
could also maybe call it the climax.
The climax. Well, the climax. You could say it's the climax of the bursting of flavor, but maybe the climax of the experience is up to you. So tell us a couple more questions about beer. Then I want to talk about your soccer career. What inspired you to start making beer?
When I started working for Bayside Distributing about 4 years ago, and I wasn't a big beer drinker, and that it definitely opened up my interest to beers because I'd see all these beers, and I'd want to know what they tasted like and stuff. I eventually started tasting all sorts of beers, and then I wondered why they tasted that way and what could make beer better. Then I just started getting into the brew process, and I started visiting the Portsmouth Brewery a lot, delivering there.
Oh.
And I'd started talk to the brewers that work there, who are really cool guys, and that kick-started me.
Yeah. Since you have an insight at the distribution plant, curiosity, Coors.
Yes.
Is that actually cold from where they brew it to my hand?
Coors is not always cold from the minute it leaves the Rockies.
Really?
Really.
What?
Especially in the summertime.
Wait, I thought it had a special refrigerated room.
It used to have a special refrigerated room. Then it started getting all sorts of problematic. It started to sweat a lot in the trucks with the condensation, especially in the summertime, and then the packages used to fall apart.
Oh.
And they used to get stuck to other ones, and it just used to become a soggy cardboard box full of cans of beer that used to roll everywhere as soon as you'd pick them up.
They're not in a special refrigerated car. How are we doing on time, Joe? Love that one.
No.
All right. Enough about Coors. Really curious though about Coors. Anyways, and tell me your favorite. Do you have a favorite beer?
I like Leinenkugel's.
Uh huh.
Yep.
I see that. I thought that was a baseball team.
And this is the packaging that I stole from the warehouse.
Stolen, more like
specifically
borrowed.
to hold. Yes, borrowed for transport.
Good. Tell us about your. Now you're a semi-pro bar league soccer champion striker. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess so. Bar league is as far as I've ever gone.
How much further can you go?
Some dare to think about that.
So what position do you play?
Well, it's indoor soccer rules, which is pretty informal. You basically just fill space. I guess you could say I'm mostly offense because I'm up front a lot.
You're pretty offensive.
I'm offensive as they come.
Do you make many goals or what?
Yeah.
Would you say that you're a winner?
I think I'm a winner, yeah.
Are you a contender?
I could have been a contender.
Are you intimidating out there?
I don't think so.
Would you say that you're known? People are like, oh, that's Ben Keeler. Guess we're in trouble.
Yeah, I'd say I was.
Yep. Good.
I play for a bunch of other people too who need spots filled.
Right. Who do you primarily play for?
I play for the Telly's team.
Telly's, that's a local bar in Epping.
That is a local bar.
True Epping boy here coming through for the team.
That's right, holding down the home bar.
Yeah, and you fill spots in other teams as they come along.
Yeah, like some people will be down players, so they'll ask.
I understand that, Joe, no little signage. Whoa! I understand that you're going to be filling in for the Holy Grail team, two sort of butting head bars. Is that a conflict of interest there? Or?
No, that's just fun times 2.
Okay. Well, there you go. A little bit of math thrown in right at the end. So, thank you very much, Ben. This is fabulous.
Oh, thanks.
Next time you're going to bring a 6 back.
Maybe a 12.
Got to make sure there's 6 in there. Okay, but anyways, thank you very much for coming in. And we'll see you next week. Or is this our last one of the season?
I don't know yet.
We'll see you on Show and Tell. Thank you, and good night.
Have another.
All right.